Awesome. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. Thumbs up will be nice. Awesome. Okay, hey everyone, welcome back. It's great to see you here for session 2 of WRO 2025 Africa Mentorship Program. And today we are digging into what really makes a mentor great and to go beyond just helping and truly guiding and empowering. So I can't wait to share with you what I have in store. And as always, we're here to have fun and learn. Okay, so I'll briefly go through what we will be talking about today. Won't be taking a lot of time. Today's session is quite brief. So we will be actually looking at what makes mentorship impactful, the proper guidance, tools for active listening, feedback, and much more. And also we'll be covering the common challenges and how to handle them. So before we get started, what's one trait that you admire in a great mentor or a leader that you've had before? Feel free to drop it in the chat. We will look at it much later once we're done with the session. So, what's a great mentor or what makes a great mentor? A great mentor isn't just someone who knows a lot. It's someone who shows up with empathy, curiosity, and the willingness to listen. Think of yourself as a guide, a sounding board, and most of all, a safe space. So, on the screen, I listed just a few qualities that actually make a great mentor or makes a mentor great. As mentioned, guides and sounding boards, empathetic listeners, confidence builders, and challengers, but in a good way. So remember that mindset is what matters more than having all the answers. So I do believe that with this schema or with this basis, you'll be able to come up with something that actually works for you and works for your mentees. So, straight up to the comparison. This is actually a huge one, and we are not here to do the work for mentees, and that's what actually differentiates a mentor and a helper. As a helper, you will be giving all the answers, you'll be solving all the problems, you'll be leading the work, and helpers are mostly focused on the outcomes. But instead of solving everything, we ask the right questions. Instead of focusing just on outcomes, we focus on growth. Remember, as I usually say time and again, that we're here to empower, not to rescue. And so, you as a mentor, it's your duty to become that pillar, that safe space, that builder or creator of tomorrow's leaders, not followers, but leaders. So, straight up, on screen are four key skills to lean into this cycle. And the most important ones are active listening and powerful questioning, followed by encouragement and constructive feedback, whilst setting expectations and healthy boundaries. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to know all the technology stacks that your mentees have been using. You don't need to know or to have answers to every question that your mentee has. But rather, you just need to be present. And you also need to be very thoughtful. Remember, again, you're not only dealing with people, or let me just use the word mentees, who are much younger than you. And this is not only scoped to WRO only. I believe that these skills can be used elsewhere in life. So it's up to you to become that pillar or that person who actually provides encouragement, provides healthy guidance. Don't just question them out of the blue. Don't just question them without having a goal in mind. Question them whilst directing them towards whatever it is that they want to gain. And yeah, true, very true enough, empathy usually plays a huge role. So, straight up to active listening. This one is very underrated, as I mentioned, but incredibly powerful. Goes hand in hand with empathy, but whilst listening, you need to be actually present, as I mentioned. So, listen fully without jumping in. Don't multitask. Don't listen to your mentee whilst doing something else, while building some other project or while eating or something. You need to be fully present. Put yourself in the mentee's position and try to think, what is it that they are trying to say to me? Or am I just getting whatever it is that they are not conveying to me? Or am I actually listening to provide constructive feedback? Using reflection whilst listening provides a common ground for you to actually build a healthy relationship. By using terms like what I'm hearing is, or trying to recompose their question, so that you can see that if you have a common ground, then definitely something better or something might actually come from it. Even simple words such as I can hear you can actually shift the energy, because you're not only listening to understand, you're not only listening just to provide a solution to the problem at hand, because sometimes just being heard can unblock a mentee. Remember, they might be facing challenges beyond the project, beyond whatever it is that they're having, but having you as their safe space creates a huge leeway for you and them to actually succeed. So, when your mentee is stuck, it's tempting to just give them an answer. But try flipping it with questions like, what have you tried so far? Remember, you're not solving their problems, but you're building problem solvers. Or you can use terms such as, what's challenging you most right now? This in turn helps build constructive or creative thinking. At least they'll be able to state well what it is that they are facing. Remember, a problem shared is a problem half solved. This helps them build confidence and ownership. At least they'll be able to say that, wow, I actually do have an understanding of what it is that I need to do, or I am faced with this challenge, and what is it that I need to do, or what is it that I need to ask to be able to get over it. So that still goes back to constructive feedback and helpful encouragement. So I'm pretty sure that along the way you'll be faced with lots of challenges. Sorry. You'll be faced with lots of challenges, e.g., mentee ghosting, overhelping, low motivation, confidence dips amongst your mentees, and poor communication. But what can you do to actually overlap that? Now let's turn this into some real stuff. The key: stay consistent, set small boundaries like weekly check ins, and most of all, focus on progress, not perfection. Remember, winning is not only the goal, but creating a leader, creating that relationship so that you may be able to go beyond just creating the solution. So, with that, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I tend to lead versus support? Just take a moment to reflect. Every time you encounter or every time you have mentorship activities with your mentees, do you pause to ask or do you rush to fix the issue? And remember, being an active listener. Do I guide or do I take over? Are you helping them solve the problem or are you helping them become a problem solver? That goes back to my motto. Mentorship is not about creating followers, it's about creating leaders. So I just urge you every time or whenever you can, reflect on your style, talk with your fellow mentors, get to know what works on their side. Might be that your style may be conducive or may work well with your fellow mentors cohort or might not be working as efficiently as you may think it is. So, to recap, great mentors ask more than they tell. They not only support growth, but they don't control outcomes. And through active listening, you'll be able to build trust. Remember, creating a safe space, a very safe space, and being encouraging to them at all times. Listening more than you speak and staying consistent, keyword curious and encouraging. That's what real mentorship looks like. So, what next? Just try applying one of these mentorship skills in your next check in. Notice how your mentee responds and share any insights that you might be having or that you may encounter along the way. So remember, we are a community and we believe that by shaping our mentees appropriately, we will be able to mold tomorrow's leaders. So, with that, thank you so much for listening. Your mentorship matters more than you know. And along the way, maybe might you might get something good, something great, and actually apply the skills that you are capturing to something way bigger than you know. So thanks again for showing up and growing with us. Your impact might not be always immediate, but trust me, it's deep and lasting. So with that, I'll see you in session 3. But before that, um, if anyone has a question or any comment, feel free to type it in the chat